Kawabunga guys, this is Phil, a Kiwi in Japan. Welcome to Treasures for Trigger. It's been a really hot summer in Japan this year, one of the hottest that I've experienced, and I've got something hot for you guys to look at today. A couple of days ago in the post I received a Michelangelo Movies 3 Vintage TMNT figure. I got it for a really cheap price because as you can see here, one of his thigh pads is actually fallen off, and these pads are actually glued on. It's not something you can just fit back in. On the photo it was kind of just sort of dangling off the leg a bit, and then when I received it in the mail it was nowhere to be seen. I was like, what the heck, it's fallen out, how did it fall out of the bubble? And I was checking to see if there was a hole in the bubble, and then I looked up and actually it sort of snuck off his leg and is just sitting on the top there. I've decided that I'm going to bust this guy open. The card is a little bit faded. If you compare it with this one here, this is one from Ryan the Collector Kid. Cheers buddy, shout out to you. The Warlord. You can see how faded this one is, so I don't feel too bad about busting this guy open. And yeah, this is going to be my first vintage figure that I unleashed from the plastic. These figures are so cool. Yeah, there's a bit of a rage to them at the moment because NECA have bought out those 6 or 7 inch figures, but yeah, this is old school. So let's go back to the 17th century. Let's get our boy Mikey out of the plastic. Let's crack into it. Alright guys, so Operation Samurai Mike out of his vintage bubble. Got my cutting knife and got my glue to glue this part back on. I think he's going to look much better on the shelf, loose and complete. I got this guy for 12 American dollars, so can't complain, and quite readily available in Japan. Obviously the samurai theme was fairly popular. Most of us know that it was a fairly rubbish movie, but the figures are absolutely outstanding looking figures. Just looking at the card back before I destroy it. I've got Raph loose without his accessories. I've got Warlord, as I showed you before, carded. I've got Leo complete loose, and I've got a Don carded as well. I'll be looking up to get him loose at some point, or maybe on a bad card back as well. But yeah, amazing looking figures. Those horses with their sort of armor as well look fantastic. I don't know, maybe they already had these figures in mind and they, I don't know, made a movie to sell these figures, because yeah, the figures are great, but the movie is not. Alright, I'm using delay tactics. I'm a little bit nervous about busting open Michelangelo, but let's get him open. Yeah, Michelangelo is my guy. He's my favourite of the 4 turtles. He was always my favourite as a kid. Not sure why, I think it was probably the nunchucks. I thought he had the coolest weapons. I loved his Californian, you know, party dude, surfer accent. And yeah, I think a lot of kids really related to Michelangelo. He was definitely the cool kid. So. From my experience of opening the Origins figures, using the thumb I think is the best way to go. I still want to keep the card back, because that's just the type of guy I am. Oh my goodness, vintage! I'm opening up a vintage figure. Not from the 80s, from the 90s, but yeah, still, ooh, still feels strange doing this. Hoping I can slide them out without, there we go, look at this, easy peasy. Bubble is quite yellowed, so it's coming off pretty easily. It's definitely seen better days. Look at that piece of cake. There he is. So yeah, oh, okay, so there's a little part that fell off. And yeah, they're actually glued. I thought these were, I checked with the other figures, I thought they just sort of clip on, but they're actually glued in. Yeah, let's take Mikey out. So here he is. So the actual figure himself, yeah, pristine condition. Yellow plastic, but the figure looks fantastic. Oh, so awesome! Opening up a vintage figure. So cool. So we've got Mikey there. Let's have a look at what he comes with. Alright, these are a bit of a callback to the original figures, aren't they? The weapon sticks that they used to come with. Interestingly enough, Michelangelo's weapons are purple weapons for the Samurai 3. This must be the long fist dagger. Time Scepter, okay. And yeah, if you don't know, actually if you open that up, inside it actually comes with a little ball. So it's complete when it's got the ball inside it, so lots of people get these and they don't realise. Got this thing here, so the colour's been a bit warped on this. It looks a little bit technicolor now. And what the heck is this called? This must be the Silent Sun knife. So yeah, that's a pretty gnarly looking weapon. And of course it wouldn't be Michelangelo without his nunchucks. So again, the tip of this one, the sun fading has sort of pinked it a bit, but I'm sure it will look fine once they're in his hand. And with Michelangelo, I tend to just use one actually. He looks cool when he's just holding one. Sometimes looks a bit awkward because they're so straight when he's holding two. It's always nice to have, obviously, the complete figure, so let's just roll it over. And these are the coolest things, I think, in these figures, these face masks. And each of the turtles ones are slightly different. So this is Michelangelo's one. Yeah, that's so cool. Looks like sort of whiskers coming out of the nose there. So the Honor Guard mask. Okay, they look so cool when they're wearing the masks. So let's get the mask on Mikey. Oh, that looks so cool. Look at that. Outstanding. And let's get a nunchuck in his hand. So he's not in the UK, he's allowed to use his nunchucks. Yeah, I was astonished to find out, you know, from people in the UK that, yeah, basically Michelangelo didn't have nunchucks because it was seen as too dangerous. That's Mikey. He looks great. What we need to do now, of course, is to attach this part. That was the main selling point for me in terms of, am I going to open him up or not? And I could justify it, the fact that this was not attached. I'm going to see if it just kind of fits on without needing glue. I probably won't. Let's have a look. It kind of fits in there, but it's definitely not going to stay without some glue. I probably need to clean up that inside a little bit as well, so I'll be very careful. Maybe use the end of my knife here. Let's see if I can just clean it up before I reseal them again. I think I'm going to get a different instrument to clean that up. Alright, so I've cleaned that up pretty well now, and just put just a smidgen. Don't want it to overflow, this glue's pretty strong. Alright, here we go. Time has come. Put this back in. I just hold it in there for 30 seconds or so, and it will look as good as, well, look as good as 1993, 1992. Even that now is already holding in place fine. Oh, awesome. So I'm really stoked I busted Michelangelo there out of his plastic prison, and he is wicked. Let's put this other weapon in. That's cool too. Alright, so I've picked up a movie 3 Michelangelo, about 20 New Zealand dollars, 12 American. Yeah, the couple of the accessories, the colours have gone a bit wonky, but to be perfectly fair, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. Often loose, it's hard to find these figures with the face mask, which yeah, they don't look nearly as good without the face masks, I don't think. Yeah, awesome! Kawabunga, dude. So wrapped to get him. I can put him alongside Raphael. So I picked this guy up recently. He came with a random accessory. I don't know what this is. It's from some kind of ornament. I don't think it's from an action figure. It actually suits him really nicely. So yeah, I do want to get the size for Raph. I think Raph is the best looking actually. Raph is not my favourite TMNT guy, but I think the colours for the movie 3 figures, that dark red just looks absolutely outstanding on Raphael. So I think he's the best looking of the movie 3 turtles, even though Michelangelo is my favourite. I've also got the leader. Not that Raphael would be happy to hear that. The leader of the gang, Leonardo. So I've got all of his accessories. So yeah, I like the fact that the weapons are quite a strong colour too in this series. Michelangelo's, yeah, that sun sword or whatever it's called is looking really 90s actually, with its fluorescent looking, the warped colour. Anywho, that doesn't matter too much. I think I'll be displaying him probably just with the nunchucks actually. I have got the set of 4 now. The 4 brothers are together in 17th century Japan with me in 2023 Japan. But yeah, they are fantastic figures. I think that, as I said, I think the NECA figures have really captured people's imaginations again with these figures. I think these figures were really underrated. Obviously the movie didn't help matters, but as figures on their own, they are right up there in terms of their detailing, their colouring. Awesome stuff. Great to get Michelangelo. And I did it, guys. I busted my first vintage figure out of the plastic prison. I'm definitely happy I did. I think he's going to look great on the shelf with all the other dudes. Alright guys, that's been it. That's been Phil, a Kiwi in Japan. Thank you for watching my video. Follow me. I'm on Instagram as well. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video.